Our world holds endless secrets, hidden just beneath the surface. Every day, new pieces of humanity's grand story are found, changing what we thought we knew. What amazing secrets have we just found in June of 2025 that will rewrite history books? Our journey begins in the heart of London, where a remarkable discovery has brought ancient Roman art back to life. At a place called the Liberty, thousands of colorful pieces of painted Roman wall plaster were found. These pieces once decorated a fancy Roman building that was torn down before the year 200 AD. For over 800 years, these artworks lay hidden, shattered in a large pit. Putting these fragments back together was like solving a giant ancient puzzle. Han Lee, an expert from the Museum of London Archaeology, spent 3 months carefully laying out and piecing together the delicate bits. The result is stunning. Bright yellow panels with pictures of birds, fruit, flowers, and musical instruments called lyres. It was rare to see so much yellow in Roman art, making these paintings very special. This find also gave us a glimpse into the people who lived there. Archaeologists found what looks like the first known signature of a painter in Roman Britain. It has the Latin word facit, meaning has made this, but the artist's name is still a mystery. There was even ancient graffiti, including a nearly complete Greek alphabet, the only one of its kind found in Roman Britain. Another piece shows the face of a weeping woman, with a hairstyle from the Flavian period, around 69 to 96 AD. These discoveries show that Roman London was not just a military camp, but a rich, artistic place where people lived and created beautiful things. Next, we travel to the small island nation of Malta, home to some of the oldest freestanding buildings in the world. These amazing temples, like Gontia and Menadra, were built somewhere between 3800 and 2400 BCE, long before Stonehenge or the Great Pyramids. For a long time, experts wondered why these massive stone structures were built and how they were lined up. Many of them faced the sun during important times, like the longest day of summer, showing that the builders knew a lot about the sky. Now, a new study by researchers Fabio Silva and Tor Lomsdalen has a bold idea. They looked at the way 32 different temples were built and found something surprising. While some temples were lined up with practical things on the ground, like hillsides or wind directions, 2 main groups of temples pointed to bright stars in the southern sky. These stars, named Hadar, Gacrux, and Avior, were very bright back then, even though we cannot see them from Malta today, because the Earth's tilt has changed over thousands of years. What makes this truly special is that these stars were important for sailing on the open sea. The new idea is that these temples were not just holy places for worship. They might have also been schools where young sailors learned to find their way by the stars. Imagine temple doorways and corridors acting like special windows, guiding a person's eyes to where specific stars might rise or set. This suggests that ancient people were not just spiritual. They used their deep knowledge of the sky to solve real-world problems, like traveling long distances by boat, making these temples a testament to ancient wisdom and survival. Our next stop is the island of Crete, a place known for making wine for thousands of years. Researchers have been studying the ancient site of Knossos, famous for its Minoan history, to understand how Roman-era sweet raisin wine was made. This special wine, called passum, was very popular in the Roman Empire. It was made by drying grapes before they were fermented, a process that ancient writers said took at least a month. But new archaeological findings suggest that winemakers in Crete might have been taking a shortcut, possibly tricking the Roman customers with a cheaper version of the wine. At a wine production site, experts found clay jars for wine, stands for filling them, large mixing bowls, and even ceramic beehives. The mixing bowls showed no signs of being heated, which was another way to speed up wine production back then. This suggests a different method, adding honey to the wine instead of spending weeks drying the grapes. This would have been much quicker and cheaper. Cretan raisin wine was a luxury product, even believed to have healing powers for headaches and other problems. Romans bought huge amounts of this wine. The fact that so many empty wine jars from Crete have been found in Rome suggests that buyers might not have cared much about how the wine was truly made, as long as they got their desired sweet drink. Now, let's journey to Gordion, an ancient city in Turkey that was once the capital of the Phrygian kingdom. This city, which has been continuously settled for 4,500 years, holds many secrets, and a new one has just been uncovered. Archaeologists have found a wooden burial chamber called Tumulus T26, which they believe belonged to a member of the Phrygian royal family. It might even be linked to the famous King Midas himself. Inside the tomb, 88 metal objects were found, including large cauldrons and bronze vessels, many of them almost perfectly preserved. This is the most important collection of artifacts found here since the early discoveries in the famous Midas tumulus. The excavation, which lasted 121 days from September of 2024 to January 2025, is expected to teach us much about Phrygian life and their burial customs. Gordion is a very special place, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2023. It is known for its amazing carpentry, oldest wooden building, and beautiful mosaics. The city is most famous for King Midas, known for the myth of his golden touch and the story of his donkey ears. Experts say that the golden touch myth might have come from the way royal clothes were dyed to look gold. Gordion is also where Alexander the Great famously cut the Gordian knot, a legend about solving a difficult problem quickly. This new tomb offers a real connection to these ancient stories and the powerful rulers who lived them. Our next discovery takes us to the historic region of Mardasht in southern Iran, where a rare inscription from the Sassanid era has been unearthed. The Sassanid Empire, which existed from 224 to 651 CE, was the last great Persian empire before the arrival of Islam. This inscription offers deep understanding into how ancient Persians thought about loyalty, justice, and the serious consequences of breaking promises. According to Dr. Abul Hassan Atabaki, a historian, the inscription reflects strong values rooted in Zoroastrian beliefs, which was the main religion of the time. It speaks about Mithra, a god who was the guardian of oaths and truth. Breaking an oath was seen as a very serious offense, not just against other people, but against the natural world itself. They believed that if someone broke a promise, Mithra would become angry, and the land would suffer from problems like drought and disorder. This way of thinking went beyond just religion and into how the government worked. Dishonest rulers or unfair judges were believed to cause problems for everyone, even affecting rainfall and healing powers. The Sassanids cared a lot about law and order, and their teachings stressed the importance of truth and condemned lies. Mithra was also seen as a protector of warriors, agreements, and family ties. This discovery shows the advanced ideas about right and wrong that shaped the Sassanid Empire, where promises were the very foundation of their society, connecting kings, farmers, traders, and artisans. Our journey continues to Stratonikia in southwest Turkey, a vast ancient city known as the City of Gladiators and one of the world's largest marble cities. Here, archaeologists are uncovering a rare Roman-era library. This library was first built during the Hellenistic period and later changed during Roman times, with beautiful mosaics added in the 4th century AD. Inscriptions found at the site show that a master builder from Ephesus, another famous ancient city, built it. Professor Bilal Sagut and his team have been digging for 5 years, uncovering key parts like the main entrance, a central courtyard, a reading hall, and other rooms. This shows that the library was very large and important. What is truly amazing is that this library survived a huge earthquake in the early 7th century that damaged much of the city. Its remaining parts stood as a silent witness to centuries of learning. Even more exciting, the way this library was designed is unlike any other known library in that part of the world. In fact, it seems to have been a model for a later library built far away in North Africa. This tells us that ideas and building styles traveled widely across the ancient Mediterranean. Now, let's go deep into the northern jungle of Guatemala, where archaeologists have found a nearly 3,000-year-old Mayan complex. This amazing discovery includes 3 connected sites: Los Abuelos, Petnal, and Cambreal, all near the important Mayan city of Huaxatun. This find is changing what we thought we knew about how early Mayan cities were built and connected. Los Abuelos, which means the grandparents, gets its name from 2 human-like rock figures found there, believed to represent an ancient ancestral couple. These figures, along with several sacred places, suggest Los Abuelos was a very important spot for Mayan rituals. Just a few miles east at the Petnal site, a 33-meter-high pyramid was found, with 2 preserved rooms at its top decorated with colorful murals. In Cambreal, about 3 miles from Los Abuelos, scientists found something truly unique: water canals inside a palace. Together, these 3 sites form a previously unknown urban triangle. This suggests that early Mayan communities were not isolated, but were highly organized and connected much earlier than experts believed. Our next stop takes us high into the Bolivian Andes, where a previously unknown temple of the Tiwanaku civilization has been discovered. The Tiwanaku people were a powerful powerful pre-Incan society that thrived in this region between about 500 and 1000 CE. Much of their history has been a mystery, but this new temple, named Palaspata, is helping us understand their religious practices, trade, and influence. The temple is located about 130 miles south of the Tiwanaku capital, on a hilltop near a town called Caracolo. Even though local people knew about the site, it had never been studied by archaeologists before because it looked quite ordinary. But its location was very special. It sat at a crossroads of 3 different natural areas: the rich highlands around Lake Titicaca, the dry plains good for raising llamas, and fertile valleys. This made Palaspata a key meeting point for trade, cultural exchange, and spiritual activities within the Tiwanaku network. Using drones, researchers mapped the temple, which is about the size of a city block, with 15 rectangular areas around a central courtyard. Its layout seems to line up with the sun during important times of the year, suggesting it was used for rituals tied to farming. Inside, fragments of special cups called keru cups were found, used for drinking maize beer. Since maize did not grow at this high altitude, it shows that the crop and the beer were brought in from other places, proving that Palaspata was a hub where trade, religion, and diplomacy all came together. The local community is now working to protect this important piece of their history. Our journey now leads us to Peru, where a fascinating discovery at the Era de Pando archaeological site has brought ancient rituals to light. At the base of an old pyramid, archaeologists uncovered a circular altar about 22 feet across that is 4,000 years old. This altar del fuego, or fire altar, was used for special ceremonies by the Caral Supe civilization. This civilization, which began 5,000 years ago, is considered the oldest known civilization in the Americas. Era de Pando was one of the many Caral Supe settlements, with several pyramids and other buildings. These fire altars were built near important public buildings and were used by only the most important leaders for private rituals. During these ceremonies, they would burn offerings like beads, quartz, seafood, or other foods. The altar's location, on the edge of a courtyard near the pyramid, suggests it was an extra space for these sacred events. This discovery shows how important fire and special ceremonies were in the spiritual and social life of the Caral Supe people. The fact that only certain leaders could use these altars also tells us that this ancient society had a clear social structure, where a select few held power and religious duties. If you loved exploring these incredible discoveries with us, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next adventure into history, and let us know in the comments which discovery amazed you the most. Turn on notifications so you are always the first to know when a new secret of the past is revealed.